Aquarius, your February energies are here. Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Shalom all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to your Transformational Tarot for the month of February for the sign of Aquarius. And this is for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus, as well as for people who have an Aquarius in their life that they love. It's a great way to stay on top of what's going on with the peeps in your world. So this month, we are pulling cards for you, an overarching theme from the 22 Archangels Oracle from Kyle Gray. And the tarot deck that spoke to me today for you guys is the Creatures Tarot from Sarah Kathleen. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right. So February as a month collectively is going to be a bit up and down emotionally. There are going to be a lot of factors coming into the mix, coming to play. It's going to be important, Aquarius, especially for you guys, because you are very focused on community and the world at large, to make sure that you are protecting your energy levels, that you are I want to say putting a little more emphasis and focus to recharging your batteries this month. Okay, here is your card. Azrael, Transcendence. You wouldn't be who you are without what you have overcome. Own your story. So this is the third time that this has popped up in the readings today. So there are two other signs that got this. So when it kind of happens more often than not, it's definitely an indicator that the collective is kind of going through something as well. And I'm hearing that you are here to help the collective through this transcendence. So I feel like that's why it's important for you to really pay attention to your own energy levels and make sure that you're feeling really good about the things that you're doing, that you're, kind of wringing out your energetic sponge if you happen to be an empath, and just kind of overall taking stock of where you're at emotionally and the things that you need in order to be able to do what you need to do. Now, what I'm really drawn to here is the overcome and the own your story. And so I feel like for you guys, this is a month where you are going to really need to focus on, I want to say, kind of separating the wheat from the chaff. No drama this month, no drama. Overcome whatever is presenting itself, and move into owning your story. So overcome the drama. Don't allow the drama to become part of your story. Really focus on why you're doing what you're doing. And that's another theme that's been coming up a lot this month, is the knowing your why. Not with all signs, but with a fair amount of signs. That message has been coming through, and it's coming through for you guys too. So know your why. Embrace your why. Don't shy away from your why, because it's going to really help you to understand, I want to say, direction, where you're choosing to go, or where you're being encouraged by the universe to lend a hand. All right, currently, where are you at present in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Interesting. So Aquarius, I feel like this has been kind of an interesting past 3 weeks where you've been struggling a little bit to understand why you've been making the choices that you've been making. So there's that why energy. And February is inviting you to really choose to do the hard work, which is that self-awareness journey. It's I'm going to look long and hard and stare myself in the mirror. And if you guys have ever done this, I used to work with my voice students, my singing students with this all the time. We would have to do mirror work. So you'd have to talk to yourself in a loving way in the mirror. You'd have to stare into your own eyes and say things. And you'd have to look at the different expressions that you're making so that you can kind of emulate that when you're actually connecting to the music that you're singing, and so that you can connect to the audience. And mirror work was the thing that students, for the most part, absolutely hated, because a lot of us feel uncomfortable looking at ourselves. And that includes the internal as well as the external. So I feel like in many ways where you're at right now, that's kind of what you're being called to. You're feeling like, I got to look at this. I got to look at the choices that I'm making. I got to look at, what I just said to that person. And, how did that differ from what I intended to say? How did that differ from what I'm actually really feeling on the inside? Maybe I didn't tell them all the things that I really wanted to say. You're going to be looking at those things. And I want to say, when we say what part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving, I feel like you have the opportunity to dissolve this stigma from your past, or the shame that comes from, in some cases, just being yourself and having that not be accepted or approved of, or, past trauma coming in to sort of lean into that situation. This is really interesting because what we're seeing is that the hermit is actually the ghost that's hanging out in the tree, and it's coming out at night, and it's coming out slowly. We don't see all of it. And it's because it's a deeply personal journey. You where you're at right now, dissolving, you don't have to involve anyone in this process, but you do need to involve yourself. I feel like this is a relationship with self issue that we're dealing with here. And if you want to get to a particular goal, if you really are ready to advance as a person, to advance in your career, to be a better partner, if you're partnered up, to be more adventurous in your life and to take more risks or take advantage of, what the world has to offer. It's about doing the hard work of looking yourself in the eyes and saying, what parts do I like and what parts do I not like? That's going to be kind of the big thing. And you don't have to beat yourself up over it. This isn't about, self-flagellation. I feel like this is important right now because it's going to really lead into what the end of this month is going to be like for you. And I feel like you're getting ready to achieve so many different. Well, let me put it this way. You're going to be in a situation to have so many different opportunities that are opening up for you in March. February, if you don't do the work, it's quite possible that you're going to say no to a lot of the opportunities in March simply because you won't be prepared. And so I feel this is a bit of a preparatory thing. The catalyst, what's fueling or hindering your transformation? And is this resistance or rocket fuel? Interesting. So yes, there's definitely, for a lot of you, a swift ending to something that is coming up. For some of you, this was by choice. You're choosing to cut it off and walk away. But for a lot of you, I feel like this is going to come as a little bit of a shock, a little bit of a surprise. This could be that you find out that your favorite boss is leaving and they're not giving their 2 weeks notice. They're actually out the door in, 2 days or 1 day. This could be finding out that you had all of these amazing plans to move forward. You were, finally good with, shutting down your, sort of your childbearing years, or, deciding as a family that you're no longer going to have kids. And then you find out your spouse is pregnant. Ooh, okay. So what do we do about this? This energy I feel is going to be a bit jarring, and you don't have to take it personally, although for some of you, I feel like that's going to be the feeling, is, oh my God, this is happening. And it's hitting me right where it hurts. Well, it's hitting you right where it hurts because that's an area of focus that needs to be addressed in order for you to really get clear with yourself on where you want to be. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is about building something new, building something bigger than you. And for whatever reason, I feel like a lot of you in the last couple of months have started to feel a little more courage or a little more like motivation towards, yeah, I've got this. I can do this thing. I'm getting ready for it. I'm getting ready for it. I'm getting ready for it. And this is the universe that plops something in your lap and says, are you sure? And the universe, it's important to remember this from a transcendence perspective. The universe isn't plopping this in your lap to say, are you sure? As in, no, you're not ready and you shouldn't do it. The universe is plopping it into your lap to give you the opportunity to make sure with yourself that, yes, this is really what I want to do. I want to move forward. I want to expand and grow into this bigger version of myself. I want to do more for the world at large. And this is the path that I'm taking to do it. Or when this comes up, you can say, oh, well, maybe I do need to do one more kick at the can in order to totally make sure that this is what I want. But understand that if you choose one more kick at the can, it's going to look very different. It's going to happen pretty quickly, and it's going to be more intensive than what this is now. And I feel like this is already pretty intensive. So, I just put that perspective on your situation, because a lot of times people will, have something like that come up, and they think automatically it's a sign that the choice that I've made isn't the right choice. No, not necessarily. Sometimes those things come up because it's a timing and you're just being delayed a little bit. But most of the time it's the universe saying, okay, well, this was a big lesson for you, and it took you a while to kind of go through the process. So now this is the opportunity for you to apply the wisdom that you've learned. Is this still the thing that you want? So it's the universe giving you an opportunity to evaluate what you're aligning yourself to. Deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? So with the Ace of Pentacles, what I'm really getting here for you guys is a lot of disappointment around things that you have put into practice, or that you have seeds that you have planted in the fairly near past, the fairly recent past, that have just not gone the way you had hoped. They have not produced the things that you thought they were going to produce. And I'm really feeling like, Aquarius, you guys are seeing this almost like it's a reflection on your capacity or your capabilities, not your capacity, your capabilities on your skill set. And there's this almost this like the wind is out of your sails. Someone's stealing your thunder. And I feel like this is a deep belief that you aren't even really completely aware of that kind of stops you when you get to a certain point in your alignment to the things that you really want to succeed at. I would also say that this is a little bit of self-sabotage that you're finding, or that is coming to the surface for you this month. Pay attention to when those times when you feel truly disappointed, and figure out where you feel it in the body, and ask that disappointment, are you disappointed in you, or are you disappointed in someone else? And then listen for the answer. Because I feel like a lot of this you are absorbing. You're taking it on as though this is something that you've done to you. And in a lot of cases, it's actually disappointment in someone else. Someone else has let you down in a pretty profound way, but you've kind of taken it on as your own, whether it's, just to avoid the situation, or you're like, listen, I don't want to make waves. I don't want to fight. So yeah, okay, we're good, but you're not really actually dealing with it. Whatever it is for you, I feel like this is the month to really address that disappointment, and to understand that that deep belief has turned itself into a wound that now gets activated every time you get close to a successful goal, personal goal. And I don't mean that it sabotages you entirely where you don't have any follow through. For some of you, that might be the case. But for a lot of you, it feels like you delay the process, or you kind of take the pleasure out of it, or there's just an exorbitant amount of self-doubt while you are in space with that. So you want to kind of pay attention to that, because this is an opportunity to release that, or at the very least to look at it and understand what it's trying to teach you, what it's trying to show you, or what it's trying to release from your patterning. What's dying away? What part of you is falling away? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? 5 of Wands. It's time to release this idea that you need everyone and his brother to train you, that everybody's got a different approach, and you need to know what each of those different approaches is in order for you to be able to move forward. This card has many meanings. I feel like what's dying away is this idea that you don't have the full scope of what you need in order to be able to do what you're doing. I keep hearing self-doubt coming up through here. So you're releasing some of that self-doubt, and you're tapping a little more into, I want to say, what you're choosing to focus on. It doesn't mean that you can't listen to other people and get some information on how you can, we can all learn from one another. We're all teachers and students to one another. This feels like you're releasing the dependence upon another person. The idea that, I don't know enough to get this ball rolling. So I need to go to someone who is more well-informed, and I need to go, from A to F with them, when really you might need just a chat over coffee to pick their brain, and then using that information that they give you over an hour chat and coffee allows you to be able to be resourceful and to find your way through. So focus, I feel, is what is kind of popping up here, and you are letting go of one focus or one concept of the things that you need in order to do what you want to do, and you're moving into something else. I just keep hearing like being more resourceful with yourself, relying a little more on yourself and your choices. Highest Phoenix potential. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. Oh, beautiful. Movement. So the Chariot card is about movement. It's the suspension bridge from Island A to Island B. It's the cab that gets you from the airport to the resort to start your vacation. Your vacation is already started. You're grateful for that cab because it fits your luggage and gets you to a place, whereas if you had to walk there with all your luggage, that would not be a pleasant experience. But the cab is smelly, it's stinky, you guys are all jammed in there, your suitcases almost didn't fit, you've got stuff on top of you. The cab driver, drives like a crazy person. You have many holy shit moments where you're holding the holy shit bar thinking you're not going to make it. And then finally you get to the resort and you're like, oh, thank God, right? You don't want to spend the entire vacation in the cab. And so when we're talking about this highest Phoenix potential, I feel like this is the acknowledgement that you are absolutely having the big opportunity to move in the direction of a big goal or a big dream that you're wanting to reach. But you have to let go of this past stuff. You definitely have to deal with the disappointments, and you have to cut things off, in pretty quick succession in order to be able to step on this journey. And in this particular deck, the Creatures Tarot, which I love this deck, we have the snail is the cab, which definitely means a snail moves slow. So I feel like this particular journey and your breakthrough energy is going to be, I don't need to take the steps 2 and 3 steps at a time in order to reach the top. It's not a race. Instead, the suspension bridge or the cab ride has just as much to offer me in preparation for where I'm going and who I'm becoming and the goal that I am setting my sights to. This is preparation. And so I feel like the breakthrough energy is when you start to realize that all of this shit has happened because it's actually been laying the foundation for the path that you're walking. I feel towards like the 3rd week of February, each of you is going to have a real epiphany, a real aha moment where you're going to be like, oh my God, like it all makes sense now and things start to fall into place. When this epiphany moment occurs for you guys, I feel like then there is a bit of surrender into, yes, I might be moving towards my goal at a snail's pace, but I'm understanding that it's because there's a lot that I needed to witness along the way. Well, now that I have that epiphany, now I can hop off the snail and I'm running, I'm taking myself the rest of the way. Or, I say, thank you, snail, for this opportunity. You're taking me for the last mile or the last lap. I'm grateful for the opportunity because now I can plan accordingly, knowing all of the things, all the pieces of the puzzle. Now I can put the plan together so that when I do arrive, I'm ready to hit the ground running. Big, big, big energies there. What's emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support the next phase? So I mentioned the Six of Cups. That, sort of the card of nostalgia, looking back on something, getting caught up in the past a little bit. So when we're talking about next steps, what I'm actually seeing here is help is being awarded to you. So, I feel like for you Aquariuses, there has been this energy of feeling like you've had to do a lot of things on your own. Like you're spending time with your peeps, you're out and about in the world, but you're kind of feeling a bit isolated in amongst all of these people. And this is a month, I feel, which is going to kind release a lot of that energy, where you're going to be receiving help, assistance. You're going to, in some cases, you're going to be receiving approval. Now, that might be personal approval from somebody else, or that might be that you get the message that you got approved for your loan, or the loan that you applied for, or you got approved for the program that you want to take in school, or you got approved for the raise that you applied to, or the job that you applied to. So there's this level of being given assistance, being given support. Sixes is all about alignment, harmony, balance, an adjustment, tolerance energy coming through here as well. So I definitely feel here, we've been talking a little bit about alignment today. Six of Cups is coming through because it is the assistance from others that is going to really lock you into that alignment space. You already see where you're going now. Now other people are going to help you along the way, and then you're locked and loaded and good to go. Wow, that feels really powerful. All right, now this is you in this process. How are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Interesting. Grieving. Lots of grief coming through for you here. The Three of Swords, it's a card of betrayal. It's a card of heartbreak. It's also a card of self-care. So this could have also been like a catalyst card for you. And it's interesting, the catalyst card was the Ten of Swords, and they're both very similar. They're black and white with a little bit of gray. They're both swords, so that's important as well. Words, communication, how words can affect us. So how are you navigating this transformation? I feel like there are some things that you just have not wanted to deal with. You've not looked at them head on. It's time to remove the swords from your heart, but you want to be prepared. You want to have the bandages and the gauze for when you remove the Three of Swords, maybe even some thread to create stitches if you need to. Again, there's a lot of the word preparation is coming up. There's a lot of preparation that is being spoken about in your reading today. And I feel like you in this process, it's you that gets to choose whether you want to heal from this or not. It's you who is either applying the swords or has the opportunity to remove the swords. No one else is going to remove these swords for you. This is about you doing it for yourself, but you are going to have assistance. If this is the choice that you make, you're going to have assistance, not the Chariot, although the Chariot is a different kind of assistance, but the Six of Cups is what I meant. You're going to have assistance, but you also have to ask for it. You have to let people in. This is going to be a time of vulnerability. And you don't have to tell everyone every, detail of your life story, of your wounds or the betrayal or whatever brought you to this point. But opening up a little bit is going to really make you feel better, and it's going to allow them to be able to help you. And I feel like there are going to be stronger bonds established as a result. This is an opportunity to expand your community. And I know that's not usually like, this kind of card's energy, but I feel like this is an opportunity to expand your community. We all have to open ourselves up and allow ourselves to be a bit vulnerable to let people in. If we don't do that, we constantly live surface, and then we always feel like we're on our own. It's interesting, Aquarius, because you guys are the sign of community. And I feel like in February, this is what it's all about, is having to kind of reestablish your own connection to the love and the need for the love of and the need for community. And it's about addressing those wounds so that you can let more people in. Circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it positive or negative? Ooh, we got the Judgment card. So it's interesting because we've got this one critter who's on a lily pad, and the only other critter that he has interaction with is his reflection. And I feel like that's really what this is about. It's an inner call. It's an inner connection. It's not a call from the angel. It's not the outside forces that are inviting you to engage in something. This is actually coming from within you. And when you're looking at that reflection, are you liking what you're seeing? Yes, you're asking for support and help, and I feel very strongly that you're going to receive it. But I feel like the real help that you're asking for, or the real assistance that you're asking for, is from yourself. How do I heal myself? How do I give myself permission to move forward into this bigger vision, of what I know I'm here to do, but I've got this self-doubt, or I've got this fear that I might not be good enough, or that I might not be able to get through to the other side. I feel like the Judgment card as support is going to help you to feel confident in making choices that allow you to go bigger. When we look at this background, there's this beautiful meadow with all of these lush flowers and, really tall grass. And I mean, it's so fertile. There's life here. And you're not even paying attention to the life. You can't pay attention to the life until you address the inner child, or the inner ego, or the inner voice that is you. And Judgment is going to help you to bring some things together. Again, it's about alignment. So you're going to get support, but I feel like the support you're really seeking out is internal support. Hopes and fears. This is who are you dreaming of becoming, and what scares you about actually doing it? Queen of Cups. Oh my goodness. Caps got this, I think, in the same position as well, or pretty close to the same position. So I feel like what you're really wanting is to feel. You're wanting to connect to your feelings and emotions. You're wanting to connect to other people's feelings and emotions so that you can then be more, feel safer to be more vulnerable and to open up. But I feel like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Well, in this case, I feel like it's got to be you. Like, you've got to make that choice. You've got to, extend the olive branch. And, that might be a little uncomfortable to put yourself out there. But I do feel like whatever you decide, to put yourself out there with, it's going to be well received. It's not like someone's going to spit in your face. You want to use discernment. That's a Judgment card, using a lot of discernment around who you're choosing to connect with. But at the end of the day, what you're really seeking is emotional and energetic safety. And that's the fear, is that I'm going to open myself up and I'm going to end up being by myself, drinking my wine, sitting in my feels, because I've been here before. But I want to say, what's really going to come out as a result is stronger bonds. She might not be anxious here. This might be her third glass of wine, and she's just taking a break. She's, sitting at the party, having a great time, making great connections with people. And she's just come out here to kind of clear her head a little bit, maybe to toast her feelings and emotions, or to toast her success, that she's having such an amazing time, right? So it's all in how we perceive. It's all in the choices that we make. So who are you dreaming of becoming? Someone who's feeling really comfortable in your own skin, somebody who's feeling really comfortable feeling. And you can get there. You absolutely can get there. And it's about the vulnerability. It's about opening yourself up, being discerning about who you open yourself up to, and then going for it. Outcome of this transformation. If you stay on course this month, who will you be on the other side of February? What is the result of embracing the full death and rebirth cycle? Ooh, the priestess or the high priestess. Definitely feeling more confident in what you're providing to the world, feeling much more confident and trusting your intuition, being able to transcend what this, earthly plane is offering you right now, and having the Loch Ness monster, she's tall, she's big. So her perspective, is from a higher vantage point. This is you really stepping into your own power. This is you really establishing that connection to self and source. And not saying that it hasn't been established in the past, but I want to say it's gotten a little, I talk about the plug that you plug into the wall. Sometimes it gets loose. And so then the light flickers, sometimes the electricity connects and sometimes it doesn't. You got to put it all the way into the outlet in order for that, full light to shine, for that full intuition to come through. And this, I feel, is what you are coming out of. You're on the other side of this. You're going to be fully plugged in and feeling more alive, feeling more on target, on purpose, and receiving that information from source because you have overcome some difficult things and you are owning your story. You are owning that through your vulnerability. Wow. Okay, so Aquarius, that is your transformational tarot for the month of February. As always, if you're needing some help, support, guidance getting through this, it's a tough month, click on the link below, book a session. I would love to be of service in that way. Also, let's keep the conversation going and go a little deeper. Check out my join button. I now finally can offer memberships through my YouTube channel. So become a fabulous phoenix. I have 3 different levels. Whatever floats your boat, would love to support you in that way if it resonates. Until we see you for another episode of Black Feather Couture, Divining a VIP Life, sending you lots of love, lots of support. We will see you on the flip side and transform well.